Hi guys, welcome to Liberate Your Bliss. I'm your host Chelsea, and today is a personal, profound journey where I'm going to just talk about the spiritual purpose of dogs in our lives. We'll delve into how these beings serve as guardians of the soul and are such catalysts for spiritual awakening, and even how they could be guides in our journey beyond the physical presence. And this episode is dedicated to my dog Joey and all the other furry angels who have crossed the rainbow bridge and touched our lives. So before we dive into my personal story, I just want to take a moment to consider how spiritual in nature dogs are. And in many traditions, dogs were seen as these sacred beings and bridges between the physical and spiritual realm. I mean, Egyptians actually associated with Anubis, the god of the afterlife. In Norse mythology, dogs were believed to be able to see spirits and warn of impending danger. This spiritual connection isn't just ancient stories. Many of us who have shared our lives with dogs can attest to this, how they have an ability to sense energies and emotions, and even impending events that are beyond perceptions as a human being. They often seem to operate on a level that transcends physical reality, tapping into something greater. So yeah, I just want to talk about this because it's really profound, and Joey saved my life in a very spiritual way. Joey came to me during one of the most transformative periods of my life, during my Kundalini awakening. And for those unfamiliar with Kundalini awakenings, it's this intense spiritual experience that just really shakes you to your very core. She takes everything away from you and shows you why your soul has incarnated here. And I was at my Kundalini intensive down in Uluwatu, and I saw this beautiful puppy with these big ears and these soulful eyes, and she looked right at me, and I knew in that moment she was meant to be part of my journey. I saw her playing with the other dog that lives at the retreat center at Kayu Mama, and I remember walking up to this woman and I said, "Is that your dog? If you don't love her, if you don't want her, please, 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 can I have her?" And she looked at me and she just said, "I'm actually looking for a home for her. She's a rescue," and yeah, the rest is history. The connection was instant, profound, and it was as if Joey knew exactly why she came into my life. She was my protector, my guide, and my constant companion through what was crazy. I went through such a tumultuous journey after that. And looking back now, I realized that this wasn't just a chance encounter. It was truly a divine orchestrated moment of forces beyond my understanding. Because Joey's role in my spiritual journey was nothing short of miraculous. I navigated the most treacherous waters, the darkest night of my soul, and she was there. She was my anchor, my protector, my light. She was there in moments of stillness when I was in this chaotic, dysregulated nervous system. And on long, painful nights when I confronted the darkest memories of my sexual abuse, she was there. Her presence was the only thing that kept me safe. Her presence was everything. This is why I really want to talk about the most profound spiritual purpose of dogs. I really believe they serve as guides and protectors during our most challenging spiritual experience, and because they can hold space for us. They offer unconditional love and acceptance when we're at our most vulnerable. Joey reminded me that there is a divine love that permeates the universe, even in the darkest moments. I was probably the ugliest I could have ever felt in my life, and she was there, loving me unconditionally. I was doing water fasts, getting baptized, all of these crazy things to try to heal myself because I felt so broken, so unlovable. And she loved me. From the minute I made eye contact with her, she loved me. And her intuition, you guys, was out of control. And for those of you who work in healing, you'll understand the importance of energetic awareness, because anytime a client was done with a session, she just knew. She could sense the energetic shifts and she would just be there. I really believe that she was working and protecting the energy and helping me balance and harmonize the subtle energies around me. She was teaching me presence. Dogs live in the moment. They are masters of it. They don't dwell on the past. They don't worry about the future. And this is perhaps one of the most valuable spiritual lessons that she offered me. The power of being fully present. Something I've been running from my whole life. She taught me unconditional love. The love of a dog is the purest. It's the most unconditional. She loved me at my worst, my best. It didn't matter. And she taught me about the true nature of divine love and unconditional love. She taught me forgiveness. Dogs don't hold grudges. They forgive quickly, completely. And they show us the liberating power of letting go. Joey showed me that I need to have joy in the simple things. I watched her find joy in the most simple pleasures, a walk, a treat, a belly rub. She appreciated the small moments of happiness, and she taught me to look for those. And my God, the most unwavering loyalty that a dog teaches us: trust, faithfulness. And what she had more than any of the other dogs I've ever had was this intuition, like I said. She just sensed things before I did, and she really showed me how to trust that intuition and that inner guidance. So losing Joey was one of the most heart-wrenching experiences of my life. The depth of grief I experienced was like so overwhelming, you guys. I felt anger, blame. I wanted to turn away from my spiritual path. Like, how could something so pure and loving and intuitive and spiritual be taken from me? And in this profound loss, she still somehow continued to guide me spiritually through the pain. She showed me the impermanence of physical form and the eternal nature of love and spirit. Once I got through the emotions and the blame, and I just closed my eyes, I could see and understand that our connection transcended her physical presence here. I know that sounds super woo-woo and crazy, but this experience taught me that one of the most profound spiritual purposes of dogs is to teach us about love, loss, and the continuity of spirit. Dogs come into our lives for a short time, and they come into our lives and they open their hearts so wide. They allow us to experience love in its purest form, and then they leave. And when they leave their physical bodies, they have a way of teaching us about the enduring nature of spiritual bonds. Because I can feel her when I close my eyes. Her spiritual presence is so strong for me. She's been guiding me towards a new mission, one that I'm so excited about, one that's gonna help countless other dogs here in Bali. Thousands of dogs every day roam the streets, hungry, sick, and in desperate need of care and love. And amongst all of that pain, every time I closed my eyes, Joey's spirit came through and she nudged me, and she gave me all of these visions of this dog shelter and how much strength I would need to take on such a monumental task. But she just kept saying, my purpose isn't over. Now let's help others like me. And it's wild, you know? Everyone always told me I favored Joey. She was my favorite dog. But I don't really feel like she was a dog. She was like a human or an angel. And after, screaming on my motorbike as I've been driving, crying my eyes out, looking at pictures and all of that, it's been unbelievable to sit and look at what grief brings up in the body. But that dog was such a gift. She came to me in the darkest time of my life, and she showed me how to find light. She showed me how to find presence and stillness. She was always there when I was still, always there when I needed her. And her spirit has such a bigger purpose than I could have ever imagined. In her leaving, she's really shown us that her life is going to save thousands of other dogs. And although it was only a year and a half of her in my life, it was enough to change everything. When I met Joey, I was dark, damaged, depressed, spiritually bypassing. And when she left, I was whole and complete and living the life of my dreams. And her spirit is needed somewhere else because I found that light in my heart. And this experience really has shown me that the spiritual purpose of dogs extends beyond their physical lives. They can continue to guide us and inspire us and push us towards our highest purpose, even from the other side. So, inspired by Joey's love and guided by her spirit, Andre and I are going to be embarking on a new journey. We're going to build a sanctuary for dogs here in Bali called Joey's House. And it's not going to be just a shelter. It's going to be a true heaven for dogs, a place of healing, love, and new beginnings for dogs who have known nothing but hardship. And this sanctuary is Joey's legacy. It's a testament to the profound impact one dog can have, not just on me, but on an entire community. And through this project, we're going to be honoring Joey's memory and extending her purpose to help countless other dogs and humans alike. So I wanted to share this with you because as we work towards creating this sanctuary, I'm reminded of the ripple effect that our relationships with dogs can have. One dog like Joey can transform a life. That transformed life can then go out to help hundreds or thousands of other dogs. And this is the same thing with people. One person can change their life, can find their light, find their purpose, and they can help hundreds of thousands of other people do the same. Imagine the ripple effect in the world. This to me is the ultimate spiritual purpose, to create a chain reaction of love, healing, an awakening that extends far beyond individual lives. So yeah, this episode, I just really want to leave you with a thought. The spiritual purpose of dogs in our lives is vast, multifaceted. They're our companions, our healers, our teachers, and our guides. They open our hearts and awaken our spirits and connect us to something greater than ourselves, yeah? So to all the dogs out there, thank you for the love, the lessons, and the legacies that you may be leaving behind. Your purposes are eternal and your impact is just immeasurable. And to all of you listening, I encourage you to reflect on all the dogs in your life, past and present. What spiritual lessons have they taught you? How have they awakened your heart? And most importantly, how can you honor their purpose by carrying their lessons forward? The love we share with our dogs is a reflection of the divine love that connects all beings. It's a love that transcends death. It continues to guide and heal us long after they have left us on this earthly plane. So, if you're moved by Joey's story and our mission to help the dogs of Bali, please reach out. Eventually, we're going to need some donations, volunteering, or simply just spreading the word, because every bit of help brings us closer to making this sanctuary a reality. So, thank you for joining me on this deeply personal exploration of the spiritual purpose of dogs and just sharing what Joey did for me and my family. So, until next time, this is me reminding you, cherish every moment with your fur babies. Listen to their guidance even when they're no longer with you. Joey, I love you, and we'll miss you forever.